In Their Skin is one of those thrilling, edgy movies for people who have never seen thrillers before. It's not the worst movie in the world, it just falls flat at too many points for me to want to watch this again. In Their Skin is about a family of three who are violently harassed by another family of three while staying at their isolated summer home. If this sounds familiar, it's because the movie Funny Games, both the original and the American remake, had pretty much the same plot. The only difference is that the antagonistic family is depicted as three-dimensional people instead of the sadistic boys in Funny Games. With a cast including Selma Blair, I actually had higher hopes for In Their Skin. However, simple things like a less than realistic reaction to these home invaders and a pitifully sentimental ending made this movie not worth the price of admission. What do you think?
This, I had a real tough time.
Yeah.
You mentioned the unrealistic reactions to things. I mean, I don't get it. Like, I don't get how movies like this can still be made. I mean, if their goal was to frustrate the viewer, then mission accomplished. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I should say is misery accomplished, because that's how I felt very like 3/4 of this film.
Yeah, because I mean, like, they had simple. It's a simple plot, and we've seen it before. But I mean, they had certain things where it's like, okay, you could stress on that a little bit or build up the tension a little bit more instead of just like boom, like, because going into it, it's like, oh, this family's crazy,
right?
And they're gonna like mess with them a lot.
Absolutely. I would have loved to have seen more build up instead of just like immediately being creeped out. I mean, if there would have been just the slightest nuance instead of like kind of shoving it in your face that this guy is a creep where he has something wrong with him. Mm-hmm. And I get that maybe that's the hard sell, because the real thing is if a guy's a weird person, he's a weird person all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, for a film, for a story, it's nice to have that a little bit. And I do admire that they tried to give the characters, like the antagonistic family, that they tried to give them a little bit more dimension. It was great, but I just don't think it was enough.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't enough. And I especially like didn't really care for that that opening to the head, like the guy being like killed by the other, like it was like the head of like the antagonistic family.
Yeah.
They'd like kill him. It was like unnecessary. And because we're like, all you need to do was just build these people up a little bit more and have it be like questioning like, oh, are they actually like really weird, or is it like that dinner scene? I thought that like so many other things could have been like stretched out a little bit more, but they just had the kid like immediately just like pull a knife on the other kid.
Absolutely.
And it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he jumped the gun, and in many ways that's kind of like a little bit of a metaphor for the whole film. You know, it kind of went right into the violence. Or right into creeping you out or making you feel uneasy.
Yeah. If you don't want to be taken hostage in your own home, keep watching Price of Admission and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thepriceofadmission. Thanks for watching.